Hi everybody, my name is Justin. I go by Pot of Gold Picker. I'm a new eBay reseller. I just started doing this about a month ago, and I've gotten a lot of help from other content creators on YouTube, like Harry Tornado and Phoenix Resale, and I was born to thrift. They kind of motivated me to do this. I am retired from the military. And I got out of the military, came back to Texas, and didn't want to work for anybody. Now I want to start something on my own, and be my own boss. And I just happened across some videos on YouTube one day, and it looked fun. I enjoy doing that kind of stuff with my wife and my kids, going to garage sales and thrift stores. So I thought, while they're looking around and shopping, I could be scanning some items and looking stuff up to see what I could make some money on. And that's been about a month ago. Like I said, I just started. I think I added up the numbers today, and after fees and shipping and cost of goods and shipping materials, I brought in right at about $2,000 already. So I have like 80 something items listed now. I had a little over 90, but I sold about 6 items today, and so I think I got 97 items sold. It's been a really cool experience. It's real neat and fun to go out and just find the stuff that people are walking past every day, and you can make money off it. I've been really surprised at how good of a profit you can make, and just doing the legwork and the research. Where I live in a really small town in Central Texas, so there's not a lot of I don't have 20 thrift stores around me, and a bunch of places to go do this at. So it's about a 30-minute drive everywhere, to either town that has a thrift store close to me. So I make those trips. I go there. We have a flea market in one of our town that's on the first and last weekend of every month. So I make sure I hit that up. We go early in the morning, and I hit I support my local thrift stores that run the charities around here as well, like Salvation Army, and of course Goodwill. And then we have some like other antique stores and junk stores that I've been to, that have all gotten me some good products. And of course garage sales. I love going garage selling. A lot of the finds I've had from there, I've made some good money on. I'm going to be going over all that stuff with you eventually. This is my first video, kind of get to know me. I'm sure people are going to roast me after I put this video out there, but that's okay. I have a thick skin, so I'm sure somebody's going to take that as a challenge. But yeah, I just thought it'd be cool to kind of document my journey with you, and go over the highs and lows of everything, because a lot of the resellers I watch are really informative, especially Phoenix Resale and Harry Tornado. They and Osborne Thrift, they really go over the numbers with you well, but it's kind of hard to see where they are now, and everything they're doing. It's a lot easier to them. So I wanted to show it from like the little guy's point of view. The kind of the stuff that I had to learn, especially about shipping. I know a lot of people are scared about the shipping. It's not too hard, it's not too confusing, but there is things, I'm still learning and figuring out, and especially when it comes to listing and putting, the calculated shipping in there, and it always seems like I get it a little bit lighter than it actually is. So, a couple extra bucks comes out of my end to cover that. So, there's some items you do free shipping on, like the light ones that I know I can send media mail or other ways like that. I don't specialize in any one certain niche. I'm not buying old electronics or just video games, or I kind of do a little bit of everything. Like I said, I watch these other content creators. I watch out for their bolos, what they're looking out for, what they're buying, and I've been really blessed and lucky to come across items like that in my garage selling and thrifting. So I found a rainbow vac the other day at a thrift store. I paid 40 bucks for. I found, I had a video game lot, like a video game consoles, that I paid, I think, like 50 bucks for 4 consoles. I got a Nintendo 64. I got a PlayStation 1 Slim. I got a PlayStation 2 Slim. And I also got a PS Vita. And the PS Vita, I found the charger with it. It was in the there's kind of like piled up in the corner at the thrift store. I found the charger with it, and the PS Vita was actually in one of those foam cases. So when I got it out at the thrift store and looked at it, I mean, the thing looked brand new. I hit the power button and it didn't come on, so I was like, well, I'll go home and charge it, see what happens. Um, but me and my son went to go get our haircut right after that, and he was looking at it, and he hit the power button. I guess just held it down a little bit longer than I did, and it came on, and it worked perfect. I was able to, test it out fully, and I reset the device and threw it up on eBay for 150 bucks. What they've been selling for, plus shipping, and within I listed like 2 other items from that, and after the 2 video games I bought, and I mean, by the time I finished listing the 2 video games, the thing had sold. Like it couldn't have been more than 20 minutes. Full asking price, got paid shipping. I shipped it out the next day, so I was really happy with that. That was one of my first like big scores. I actually went there. I had another big score. One of the video games I found there was Silent Hill Origins for PS2. This thrift store, I guess this guy just buys a lot of like leftover garage sale stuff. And he had a glass case with a bunch of video games in it, so I didn't have any service there, so when I went there the first time, I just took pictures of all the games that were in the case, and then we had to go school clothes and school supply shopping for my kids, so while my wife was doing that, I was out in the truck, going through the pictures, looking things up, because like I said, I'm new to this, I really didn't know what to look out for, and man, I typed that Silent Hill Origins in for PlayStation 2, and my eyes bugged out of my head. This thing was selling for like 130 bucks. And, I knew the guy said that video games were $5 a piece. So you bet the next day, because I know that they closed pretty early that day at 3. So the next day, I went back out there, and I think I found a Rock Band game too for PlayStation 4. I bought both of those games for $5 each. And when I was buying those games, I was happened to look up in the corner, and I saw a Nintendo 64 remote kind of like sticking out of a bag. I asked about it, and I asked the lady if I can go look at it, and she said yeah. And so I asked her what the deal was with all this stuff, and she's like, oh, let me go ask the owner, and talk to him, because like I said, it's a small town, it's not like a very big, there's only 2 employees. So she went and talked to him. She said it was stuff that they had gotten from garage sales, and that he hasn't tested. So she's like, everything's untested up there, he'll be in a minute to talk to you. So of course, he came in, and I had, 4 consoles sitting out. There was other consoles sitting up there, but I didn't take them down. And I asked him, I was like, hey, what's the deal with these? And he said that, he got these at, leftover garage sales or wherever he gets them. And he said that some of them are missing cords. He doesn't know. He can't guarantee that any work. He got an Xbox 360 up there. He said that was his son's. It had the red ring of death. So he's like, I don't even know if that thing works or what's wrong with that. But like Nintendo 64, it had all the cords, but on the controller, the joystick is real loose. So, but he didn't have any Nintendo 64 games. So, I got that. That was one of the ones I got. The PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2. The PlayStation 1 had the original power cord. The PlayStation 2 was the later slim version, so it has the power bank built into it. You didn't need like the little power block and then the cord that goes into it. So I have a PlayStation 4, and I just used that power cord, turned it on at home. It worked. I did have to order the audio video cables. They have a special connector that goes into those, so I ordered 2 of those for like $4 each. Those came in. I tested the PlayStation 1 out. It worked flawlessly. I bought a PlayStation 1 game while I was there, tested it. I cleaned up the controller, cleaned up the console, and I was able to sell that for $69 plus shipping. Somebody bought that from me. I kept the PlayStation 2 because I found Midnight Club Dub Edition. I love that game, so I wanted to play that with my son and kind of show him that game. So we kept that to play that. The Nintendo 64 I still have. I found another controller, but again the stick's loose. I've been looking out for cheap games, or at least a game to test it, because I want to test it, so I can get the maximum amount of profit I can out of it. So I'm still looking for a game to test it before I list it or anything. Then what else? Like I said, the PlayStation, the PS Vita, I sold that for 150 bucks within like 10 minutes of listing that night. And then the Silent Hill Origin game I found, I threw it up there for like 120 bucks. I did that because it was complete in box, had the manual, the case, the disc was in great shape, but they had stuff like those yellow stickers. Instead of sticking it on the plastic on the outside, they stick it on the artwork, the paperback, the paper cover, underneath the plastic. So I couldn't remove that. I didn't want to, and risk ripping it or whatever. So I listed it up there for 120 bucks, and somebody sent me an offer within like a day for $100. And like I said, I had $5 into it, so I jumped all over that. Sent it, UPS, I think priority is what they wanted, so they paid shipping for it. And yeah, I mean, and I think so 4 consoles. Those 4 consoles I bought: the PlayStation 1, 2, 64, and the PS Vita. Like I said, I paid $50 for them untested. They all work great. Was able to test them. Sold the PS Vita for 150 bucks. So I mean, there's my in the profit. I still have got my money back plus 90 bucks. The PlayStation 1 sold for $70. I got the PlayStation 2, and I still have the Nintendo 64. So I went back though because along with that Xbox 360 he had that didn't work, he had a Nintendo Wii U with the gamepad and I think another Black Wii remote with the nunchuck or whatever. So I went in there and I was like, hey, what's the deal with that one? Honestly I didn't buy it at first because I thought Wii U's weren't worth anything. So then I got home and looked it up and I was like, holy crap, I gotta go back and get this thing. So I went back. I was like, hey, how much do you want for this one? I think I bought 2 more games out of there. So I ended up giving 20 bucks for that and the video games. Got the Wii U home. Kind of cleaned it up, turned it on. The Wii U worked, but the gamepad has a little charging station. It was missing a cable, so I ordered a cable. That came in. I was able to charge the gamepad, and everything works perfectly. There's like a scratch on the gamepad screen. But I mean, other than that, it's a perfectly working Nintendo Wii U. So I got that all bundled together, and photos taken of it, and I got it listed for $150. So now I'm just waiting for that to sell. Had an offer on it, and the guy offered me 130 bucks. I accepted it. Guy never paid for it, so I just had to cancel the order and relist it again. So, but like I said, I'm learning. I'm trying to figure this stuff out, figure out what to look for. I think my biggest profit so far is probably that video game. I did find a TI-85 calculator at an estate sale. It was a case, super old calculator that had all these little books with it that had little chips in them and like little slide things you would slide in the calculator, and had a bunch of like manuals with it too. And I talked to the guy about it. He said it was his dad's calculator. Back in the day, this was like the fanciest you could get. Each little chip is for like different calculations you could do. So one's for like structural engineering, one's for electrical engineering, and you would like slide this little thing open in the back, put a different chip in there, and then you would have this manual that would tell you how to do the calculations for it. So I asked the guy how much he wanted for it. He told me $5 for everything because it was actually the second day of the estate sale, and this was a pretty bare place, and so I gave him $5, got home, looked it up, and sure enough, it was worth. I mean, the calculator by itself wasn't worth much, maybe like 50 bucks, but those chips that you would put in the back of it, they were worth like 35 bucks each. So I figured, hey, I got like 3 of these chips, all these manuals, calculators in good condition. After I tested it, came on. I'm not sure. I just didn't like wrote boobs on it and stuff. And but I tested it out. It came on. Was able to do a little bit of basic math, like all I know, and it worked. So I listed it for $100 for everything, and I just sold that. I shipped it out today. So that was a good score for me. Another big score I had. I was at a garage sale, little tiny garage sale, and they had a Casio cash register in a box. The box was kind of torn up, or real torn up, and it worked. And the lady wanted $10 for it. I didn't bother looking it up. I just seen, I think Osborne and Thrift. I see him buying cash registers, so I picked it up for $10. Figured, what the hey, and got it in the truck. Looked up the model number and everything off it. Bam! It said $150, and so or 140. And so I got home, cleaned everything up, tested it. I think I had one key for the actual cash to turn it on and off. I didn't have the drawer key. But looked it up, and like I said, $140. Cleaned it up, got my pictures taken, and then with a couple hours, it sold for $140 asking price plus shipping. So yeah, man, it's exciting, and I'm having an awesome time. I've already got the fevers for this, and I've drugged my wife and my kids into it. Every time we go to garage sales, they're like, "Hey, Dad, come scan this," or check this out. Is this worth any money? So it's a real fun family thing to do, and I have a great time doing it. It's kind of like treasure hunting. Hence the name, pot of gold. I'm at the end of the rainbow trying to find that pot of gold every time we go out. So, yeah, probably long-winded, and not really sure how to do this. My first ever YouTube video. I can already tell I'm looking away from the camera too much. So, yeah, if you like what you see, or think you might like it, just join me. I'll be putting out some videos probably next week. I'm gonna go ahead and video my little beginner setup, what I have. I'll take a video of that. It's nothing very fancy. My little photo booth area is something I kind of pieced together out of some display board I bought at Walmart to take my pictures on, and I already need to replace that. And it's got a laptop for my computer, and I just had to move all the stuff out of a room, and I went and got a storage building. So I'll show you my little storage area and kind of what it's really like starting out. I don't have any fancy labeling systems or storage systems. It's literally a couple of crappy shelves with stuff put on it. So I'll go over all that, kind of show you my beginning and how I'm getting started. So yeah, if you're new, please subscribe and hit the like button. If you're interested, want to know more about me, just ask down in the comments. Yeah, and I appreciate you stopping by, and I hope you enjoy my videos. Thank you.